All right. So welcome everyone to this session of time management. So before I start the session, so how I would like to do is I would like to ask what all concerns you have regarding your preparation strategy and managing your time, so that I can build whatever things I want to share on that. So what we can do is we can keep this session more of an interactive one rather than me explaining you, points about time management. So I hope I'm audible to everyone, right? So you can go ahead and ask what you feel and whatever you want to ask about any strategy that you want to follow, how to take up revisions, and how to basically strategize for Gate 21. Or if you want, you can type in your questions as well. Am I audible to everyone? Yes? Okay. Okay. See, Soumya. Yeah. So I think most of you are, of course, busy with either many of you are working or you have your college exams and something like this. Okay. So I'll answer one by one. Let's take up Soumya's doubt first. So see, you have to manage time. There's no easier way to say this, but what I'll say is at least try to take 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours every day to prepare for your gate exam. Now those things can be divided into two parts. Okay, one is you want to revise or you want to practice what is happening currently at IGC classes. Okay, so let's say in my subject aptitude is going on, so you want to revise topics from aptitude subject. Okay, or you want to practice some assignments, something like this from aptitude. Okay, that is one part. This other part is you want to revise something which already happened, like something which happened in July, and you were very good during that time. But once the subject got over, you did not practice that for 2.5 months, and now you are a bit weak in that. All right. So those are the two kind of preparations you have to do. So I will say that those things which were previously covered, let's say they were covered way back, let's say whatever was covered in July, in that all those topics, what you can do is keep 3 days or you keep 3 hours and 3 days, I mean total 9 hours every week to do revisions. That means revisions can be done based on the how much load you have and all, but I'll say just keep 9 hours, that means 3 hours on 3 days for revision of the previous topics. Okay, which you are very good at but you forgot somehow because you did not practice that for a long time. Okay, 3 days for revision, and remaining 4 days you study whatever is currently going on at IGC. I mean, revising your class notes, solving some assignments, problems, and so on. Okay. And second important point is try to pay maximum attention in class. Okay. So try to understand everything in class so that you don't have to spend time later on outside the class because you are already busy with a lot of things. So you don't have to spend time, later outside the class understanding those things. Okay. So outside the class, you just have to practice questions and revise those things. So keep 9 hours of revision every week till your gate exam is over. This will really help you to revise whatever is covered, and in parallel go do your assignments and all. If you feel that 3 days revision is too much, then keep it 2 days. Okay, 3 hours both the days and 2 days. So let's say Monday and Thursday I'll keep only revision days. Then in those 2 days I'll just revise the previous stuff. Okay, and then the remaining days I'll maybe solve assignments or practice my IGC work, which IGC subjects which are going on currently, or I'll do some of the college work. Okay, so you have to plan it accordingly. Okay, and always one more important point. So let's say you don't have classes on 2 days. Okay, so don't do like I'll study for 6 hours on 2 days and remaining 3 days in the week I'll not study. Okay, do not do that. Try to study at least 2 hours, if not 3 hours and all. Try to do this much so that your continuity is not broken. Otherwise, what will happen is if you break your continuity, it will be very difficult and your productivity will go down. All right. So Nitish is asking. Yeah, Nitish, so this is the sequence you have to follow. See, I'm not sure you should give mock test after every revision, but after every revision, you should check out or solve the assignments. Because if you don't solve the assignment, then that revision is not very fruitful. You should know how to attack the problems also once you are able to revise the notes. And see, revising notes, see, every faculty will give you some basic problems of GATE, right? So revising notes itself, you will be able to solve lot of problems in the notes only, right? When you're revising. So after that, assignments will be just some additional thing, okay? So this should not take too much time. So if you can't complete one whole topic in one day, so you try half a topic, revise half a topic, do assignments of that, done. Then next day you revise other half topic. Don't do like this that I will revise everything today and tomorrow I'll solve assignment. No. Revising a concept and solving its questions should be done in one sitting. Always remember that. Otherwise, it is not very fruitful.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Revising the notes and doing some example, it consume a lot of time. If I take up one topic just like a matrix, so revision will be a revision will take 1 hour. Then and solving some questions and assignment, they consume time.
Okay.
So what's the solution for that?
So that's what I'm saying. So let's say matrices and determinant. So I've divided matrices and determinant into three parts. One was the basic properties when I discussed matrices, different type of matrices and all. Okay. Second is system of linear equation. Third is eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So you take up the first topic, revise that first sub part, okay, and then solve problems. Done with it. Then you come to the next part. Revise system of linear equations, what all variations are there, solve class note problems, and then solve assignments. Then done. So this is how you don't revise everything in one go. Otherwise, you will not have the energy to solve assignments. And if you delay the assignment for even the next day also, then you would have to again revise things. So revision, just do half an hour, 45 minutes of revision, whatever you can cover, cover that. And next half an hour, 45 minutes, you solve problems. All right. I will say if you're studying for 2 hours, then 45 minutes of revision and 1 hour 15 minutes of problem solving should be there. Whatever content you can cover, don't have to cover the whole topic in one go. Okay, because practicing problem is in fact more important than revising the concept itself. Clear?
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So Nikhil is asking how to manage time this month. It's online classes is fine, but next month's going to be offline classes. So Nikhil, I think this is one thing you have to manage, right? Because I mean, that's what I said. It's not. I understand that it's not really easy to solve these things or to find time to do preparation for gate. But this is high time. If you stop or if you loosen up this time, it will really affect because the classes are going in full swing. Plus, you have covered a lot of content. I think 50% gate syllabus is already covered for most of you, and you require revisions as well. So you have to find time. So one advice I can give you is, so let's say if you are a night person, okay, so keep your energy for the night. Okay, so when night comes, try to extract 2 hours at least in a day and study in those 2 hours during night time, because you are a night person, so you will be very efficient during night hours. If somebody is a morning person, then you try and study in morning. Let's say you wake up at 6 o'clock, study from 6 to 8, and then start your work, or you go to your college or something like that, or study from 5 to 7. This is something you have to build, because you know that for the next 3 months college will be there, everything will remain same. So you have to build a strategy to make sure that you extract that much amount of time. Okay, see, this is how we all manage like this, right? We all also manage our classes and all like this only, preparing your content, then taking your classes, solving your doubts. So yeah, I mean, life is not easy and things are going to get difficult, but this is actually helping you learn strategies which you will use when you do masters, because masters is of 2 years and you will learn a lot of things. So you'll have to strategize over there only, over there also. So this is again a preparation for that also. Is this clear, Nikhil? No, Sachit, see, what happens is after first revision you'll solve your assignments. Okay, so there will be some questions which you will not understand, or you will look hints for, right? So let's say, so solving assignment, one more thing. So how do you guys solve an assignment? Mostly people, what they'll do is, let's say there are 30 questions in an assignment. What you'll do is, you will solve one question, check the answer, and then done. Then solve second question, check the answer, and then done. How I used to solve assignments while I was preparing was, I'll take up those 30 questions, solve them in one go. Okay, write all the answers in a sheet, and then check those 30 questions in one go, so that I will know out of those 30 how many I got right and how many I got wrong. Okay, so the wrong ones I'll keep a note of the wrong ones later. So when I'm doing my second or third revision, I'll try to again solve maybe those 30, or I'll just solve those wrong questions first. Because see, every question is different, and I'm not telling you to memorize the question, I'm telling you to memorize the technique which is required. Okay, why we are using this technique, how others technique will give you wrong answer. So this is how you practice the same assignment over and over again. You write the answers on a sheet of paper and then check how many answers you got wrong, because ultimately you have to do the same thing in gate. Sachit, is it clear? So this is a very useful strategy, it helped me a lot. Okay, so please everyone, I'll advise you to follow this. Whenever you're doing assignments, write your answers in a sheet of paper, then in one go check all the answers. This will also help you check your accuracy in a particular topic, how accurate you are. Okay, so Palak is asking, yeah, Palak, again, working people, let's say you're working from 9 to 6. Okay, so if I was a working person and I was preparing for gate and I'm working from 9 to 6, so let's say I have to stop whatever I'm doing by 8 a.m. So what I'll do is, I'll wake up by 5, maybe study from 5:30 to 7:30 or 7:45, and then I'll proceed with my work, because I'm a morning person. So during morning hours I'll be maximum efficient. Okay, if you're a night person, then if you're working from 9 to 6, and then later on you take a break and you maybe start studying around 8 after dinner and go till 11:30 or 12. So of course, it is very difficult if you are working or college person during those hours. It is very difficult to extract two slots for 2 hours. Okay, so I'll just try to sit in one go and study for 2.5 hours, and that's it. Or maybe later on I'll try to extract 1 hour slot more. That's it. Okay, I'll not push myself too much, because I need this energy for the next day also. So make sure you eat properly, you sleep properly as well, so that you can continue like this for the next 3-4 months. Because that is very important. Don't push yourself in one go. It will not really help you. Okay? And make sure your efficiency is high. So you have to understand what time is best for you to study. So Palak, does this answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, Kshitij, so something like, see, assignments, I will say you can practice at least 3 to 4 times, because I know that, let's say there are 30 questions, so you will not get 30 questions right in the first go. Okay. So you can practice 3 4 times. Now, once you are so comfortable with all those questions that you remember all those questions, then there is no need to touch that assignment again. Okay. But assignments are not just some questions. They are something which has to be done over and over again with revision, so that you are very comfortable with those questions. Then try to go for new reference books. Don't do like, sir, I'll do assignment once and then I'm done, so I'll practice new questions more. No. Okay? Because when we make assignments, we select good questions for you guys. So those questions are not something we picked randomly. We try to make sure that we cover every content, so those assignments will help you in overall revision and solving. Soumya, so if you want to improve on this, what you can do is, whenever you are solving a question, na, never look at the options. For MCQs also, if it's a numerical question, never look at the options. Try to solve things without options. Try to get the answer, especially in aptitude and engineering maths. Try to get the answer without options. That will help you increase your, solving thing. Because if we have the question in front of us and if we look at the options directly, na, then it is unbiased. I mean, it is we are biased towards those options, and that fear comes into practice when we are trying to solve NAT questions, numerical answer type questions, because there you don't have any options. So try to solve the questions in a subjective manner rather than the objective way. Okay, this will really help you with NAT questions. Okay, so regarding my efficiency, so I'll tell you, I prepared for around 3.5 months. Of course, I was in some coaching institute also, because you cannot do preparation within 3 months without some institute. So what I used to do was, during my preparation, I knew, okay, what is the time that I'm maximum efficient. Okay, so I used to study in the morning hours. So I'll wake up around 5:30. I'll study for 2 3 hours. Then I used to attend my classes. Then later on in the evening again I'll sit and study how much, whatever I can. And also one more thing, one more very important point. Whenever you are studying, na, whenever you're studying, so let's say I am able to find 2 slots in a day when I'm studying. So let's say one is in the morning hours, one is in the evening hours. Now I know that I am a morning person. That means I am really efficient in morning hours. So I would like to take up a heavy concept in morning hours. Okay, something which, a subject which is very difficult for me, I would like to study that in morning hours. And I know I am not really efficient in evening hours, so evening hours I'll try to practice aptitude, something which I'm really good at, but I just need some practice. Okay, so you have to manage your workload accordingly. Okay, if you are very efficient at that point of time, try to take up something which is very heavy to you, or which you think is very difficult. Okay, and then later on, if you feel, okay, aptitude is very easy, like spatial aptitude is very easy, or logical reasoning is very easy, other times when you are, half efficient or half sleepy and all, solve those problems, because those problems will only require 50% of your focus and you will be able to do them. Okay, do not, if morning you started working and you know this is the time I am highly efficient, so do not take up some light topic during those hours. Then you will be just wasting your time. Try to take up some heavy topic which requires a lot of concentration. So over the day your concentration will decrease, so accordingly you plan what topic you should deal with next. Okay, so if I was given the choice to choose my own classes, so what I would like to do is I would like to teach the classes which are really heavy in the morning hours, and then aptitude, which is a bit light for me, I like to take up those classes at night, because I know at night I'm less efficient. So still I would be able to do good justice to aptitude, but I really need a lot of concentration. Let's say if I'm teaching algorithms, so I would like to keep algorithm classes in the morning. All right. So this is how you have to play. You have to be very, very careful what you study at what time. And this is what intelligent people do, and this is what will help you in those 2 years of your MTech preparation, MTech course. Okay. So Nikhil, is it clear? Okay. Yeah, sure. Pushkin, of course, whenever you're solving any problem, any assignment, so if you have done revising, okay, and you're solving and you get stuck, it's fine. It's fine. You can check some formula or some concept, but I will say check only for those topics which are little, you think that it is little difficult and you're trying to, make them strong, make them your strong point. But let's say I completed revision of one topic. Now I know that I know everything of this topic and I want to test myself. So I will solve the assignment not because I am doing revision. I am just solving it because I want to check myself how good am I. So I will take up that assignment and solve it as a test paper. Let's say 30 question, 120 minutes. I'll give myself 2 hours and 30 questions, or 90 minutes. I'll try to solve them. Okay, so it depends how you're doing it. Let's say I'm taking up some very weak topic and I'm trying to solve the assignment. So what I'll do is I'll refer to the notes again and again. Yeah, Kshitiz, it's all right. Take time. But see, first time, if you think, okay, some topic is taking 3 hours, next time, if you take the same topic and solve problems, it will take 2 hour 15 minutes. Next time again, it will take 1 hour 45 minutes. Next time again, it will take 1 hour 15 minutes. This is how you become an expert in some topic. You keep on revising it again and again with solving problems. Revise it, solve problems. After 2 weeks, again revise it, solve problems. Now, Banko, see, you have to get involved in what you're doing. Okay. So I will see, my thing was I used to study the topics which I used to really like. Okay. So the topics that I studied in my gate, I teach those topics to computer science students today. Okay. So if I like something very much, there is no way I can get distracted. Or sometimes what I do is, if you are feeling distracted or some days you're feeling like I can't study, so put on some music. Okay. Some music can be some trance music, or some just some flow music or trance music or some beat music. So that really helps me solve problems. That gives me a particular flow. So it's like I'm solving question one by one, so I can solve every problem in under 1 minute. Yeah, something like this, so that your mind is not distracted. And don't listen to lyrical music, because then you are distracted towards those lyrics. Not that. Some trance music which will just be, beat noise, just to help you with the flow of studying. I actually do that a lot. Well, again, that depends on how comfortable you are. At some topics I really don't like music, listening to music, because it hampers with my concentration to understand something. But when I'm solving aptitude problems and all, and I'm already good at it, so I like to practice with some music. Okay, it helps me practice longer, and yeah, I can solve more problems without getting distracted or thinking about anything else. Okay, so Ajay, what you can do is, let's say your regular waking up time is 8 a.m. Okay, so next day try to wake up at 7:45. Next day try to wake up at 7:30. Slowly and steadily try to wake up as early as you can. Don't push it like, okay, you wake at 8 a.m. Today I'll wake up at 5 a.m. That will not happen. Okay? Because if you slowly build a habit like this, you will feel that I need to sleep little early also every day. Okay? So if you are sleeping at 11 a.m. or 12, you're sleeping at 12 a.m. and you're waking at 8 a.m. So later on, what you'll do is, when you are waking at 6 a.m., your body will automatically, it'll want to sleep at 11 p.m. See, music is fine, alternate, unless I feel that lyrical music is a big problem, because I get distracted with the lyrics and all. But if I'm listening to the same beat over and over again, it is like, something is in my head. It is kind of a noise which has helped me distracting. Even if lot of people are around with me, around me and all, It will not distract me from doing whatever I'm doing. Yeah, I used to study a lot using music. I especially like trance music when I'm solving problems. It actually builds a flow. It builds a really good flow, but mostly when I'm solving problems, not when I'm understanding some concept. Okay? Mostly when I'm solving problems. Okay, anything else that you guys want to ask? I think I almost answered all the doubts in the chats. Now, if you want, you can unmute yourself. Okay, Nikhil. Motivational drop to keep yourself focused and high. Okay. See, for motivation, I'll tell you one simple thing. Okay, if you're not from IIT or any of the top NITs, one thing I can guarantee you is once you get into an IIT or IASC, see, my belief is if you're giving GATE and you think you're a little bit good also, na, then try for top 7 IITs or ISC, these 8 colleges, nothing less. When you're preparing, just target wherever you get, that's a different case. But target these 8 colleges. I'll not even say top 7, I'll say top 4. That's IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur, then IIT Delhi, IIT Kharagpur, and IIT Roorkee. Okay. IIT Guwahati also I don't feel like. Madras is also okay. Okay, and IISc. These 7 colleges. So once you get any chance, okay, your life will improve so much. Okay, your life will improve so much that you can't even understand right now. And one more thing, uh, you will have lot of choices later on. Whenever, see, if I want to teach right now, I have good options because I am from ISC. If I say that I am from ISC, people will give me opportunity to teach. Okay, that is a different case. If I can teach or not, that's a different thing. But if I'm from ISC, they'll definitely provide me one opportunity to teach. Okay, so those one things, na, those single opportunities that you get, those are very easy to come by later on. If you want to be a project assistant or research assistant under some professor, then it becomes really easy for you if you're from IISc. Okay, so all those things become really easy, and the choices that you have later on are much more. Otherwise, once you are able to get something in life, you are afraid to take risk because you know that you will not be able to get anything other than that. Maybe you were just lucky once. Okay, but when you do your MTech from a big college, you will have lot of choices and people will give you lot of opportunities. And second important thing is there is no lockdown or there is no recession for people who are from top colleges. They will always have some or the other opportunity waiting for them because they are hardworking and they have proved themselves. So, and third thing is the reputation that you get in your family, right? If you're from IIT or ISC, the reputation that you get is amazing. Yes? Yeah, Naija, that's all right. That's all right. That's perfectly fine. See, whatever advices I am giving to you, these are general advices. So you don't have to follow them, line by line. You have to modify them according to you. What do you think? What are your comforts? Like I listen to music when I'm solving problems, but this might not be true for somebody who is not used to listening to music. Okay, so these are just general advices, and mostly they are from my past experience. So you have to modify them a bit for you. Okay, Soumya, so fear is always there, right? But this fear will push you, should push you. Okay, it should push you to wake up at 5 a.m. It should push you to study till 1 a.m. Okay, it should push you to perform better, to perform in classes. See, that's why I give you sufficient time in classes to solve the problems. You know why I give you, nobody has asked me till now why I give so much time to solve problems. Okay, I know many questions in class which I do, I know that you'll not be able to solve them. But why I give you those time is because when I'll explain the solution now, you will be able to get the solution in one go, because maybe you thought it through 50%. So when I explained rest 50%, you will be able to understand easily. All right. So that is why I give you those time in class. So I make sure that whatever is happening in class, you don't have to spend some extra time trying to understand that later on. Okay. So similarly, you have to be, but the fear that you're talking about, uh, so I'll tell you one thing. There was a friend of mine. He was in ISC. He was my batchmate. Okay, when I was doing masters in ISC, this was year 2014. Okay, I started my masters then. So you know how many years he dropped to get into ISC? He dropped 2 years. Okay, in the third attempt he got into ISC, and every time he was rejected in the interview, not in the gate itself. Okay. So this fear, of course, will be there, but you have to overcome this fear. So what I usually took this strategy when I was preparing. I also had this fear because I took 1 year drop. Okay, and then I prepared. So my job was simple. My thought process was simple. I want to perform the best in gate. Okay, doesn't matter what the result is. I should be able to look into the mirror and say, yes, I have spent a good 3 months trying to prepare. I've done the best I could. And then whatever the result comes in, I'll be happy with that. If I get selected, if I don't get selected, I really can't do anything about it. But what I can do is I can give my best in preparation. Okay, whatever things are needed to be taken care of, I'll take care of everything. I'll have a good strategy. I'll attack the paper, and then whatever the result, whatever it happens later, happens. Nobody has control on it, right? Nobody knew that corona will come and we'll be sitting like this doing live classes and sitting in lockdown and all, right? But the good thing about those people who are always positive, the good thing is that they always try to create something positive out of the negative environment. Okay, so you try to overcome this fear and just think about right now. Right now your job is to study and to prepare. Okay, whatever happens in gate happens in gate. All right, and I have not seen, if you think like this, I have not seen even a single person who fails. Always you will succeed. Okay, always you will succeed, one way or the other you will succeed. So I'll tell you one short instance from my life. I went to there was a company called Mu Sigma. So I went to give an interview for Mu Sigma, and I was rejected in the last round. Imagine, I was rejected in aptitude round, the subject that I teach now. Okay, so later I just I was really sad that why I got rejected, and I was getting a decent package and all, but that rejection actually forced me to prepare for gate. Okay, and if I would not have been rejected then, I would not have planned for gate and all, and I would not be here teaching you guys and taking a session. Okay, so whatever happens in life happens for good. So if you can't understand something right now, like why this has happened, even though you practiced a lot, just wait. Okay, wait some time, it will be clear in the future, because you can always connect the dot backwards, not forward. So does this help, Nabanko and all of you? Yes. You, yeah, I mean, this is a good motto. Try, but don't cry. So just try whatever best you can do. Just give your best. Okay. So you should not regret that I have wasted my 3 months. I did not prepare well, also. I did not enjoy, also. Okay. So just give your best shot. Whatever happens will happen for good. Don't worry. Okay. So I'll tell you, in my ISC interview, I was asked something on calculus. Okay. They asked me some question on limit using L'Hopital rule and so on. So I gave them I think two methods to solve the same problem, and I got the answer for from those two, both the methods. One was without L'Hopital, one was with L'Hopital. And in my fourth year in BTech, I used to take home tuitions, and I used to teach all those things during that time. So I was pretty good at it, and I was very good in 11th and 12th also in mathematics. So all those things combined helped me in that interview. So you don't know in life, whatever you are doing right now, this will help you, but when it will help you, you don't know. So my thing is, always do not do anything because you want to expect something. Okay, just do it because it has to be done. Okay, so right now I teach you guys thinking that it is my job and I should do the best I can. Okay. I don't think about anything else apart from that. I don't think later on how much I'll earn or something like that. No. My job is to teach you guys the best I can and I do that job. Okay. This session also I try to do my best. I don't really think about what benefits I'll get later on. Okay. Benefits are something which is extra. You don't, if you work for benefits, then that's not working. That's just, I don't know what it is, but that's not work according to me. Okay. Yeah, of course. I want everybody to get to do the best you can. So after you take my lectures and all, my motive is what? If you are afraid of aptitude, I want to get that fear out. If you are afraid of mathematics, I want to get that fear out. Okay. Not everyone can get single first rank. I know that. Okay. But my motive is to improve you. Okay. If you can get 100 rank, I want you to push for 50. If you can get 50 rank, I want you to push for 20. Improve yourself. That's my motive during the classes. That's what I want from people. And I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of people who were not really good in the beginning of the session, but towards the end, they were really answering a lot of questions. I've seen a lot of people. Yeah, okay. So fear thing is over. Then Pushkin Saturday's class is there. Okay, one more thing. If you guys somehow miss any of my classes, okay, and of course the classes are in continuation. So make sure you attend the previous lecture before you come to the next class. This also goes for computer science students, okay? Just make sure you somehow you attend your session which you missed. Recordings are after an hour, those are available, okay? So make sure you attend the recordings, or if you are not able to view the recording, just ping me. I'll give you the access for that before the next class. Okay, always. Otherwise, next class would be something not clear to you. Then you will have basically two classes of work, and that is not intelligent. So make sure if you skip, that's fine, but make sure you view the recordings before the next class. Yeah, Nitish, I give approximately 3 minutes, but it depends on the questions you're attempting. Sometimes, if you would have observed, I give you total 6 minutes also. So that is like 3 minutes for solving and then, inputting the answer and all. So combinedly, I give you around 3 to 5 minutes for every question because I want everyone to at least understand the problem carefully. So I don't have to explain the problem, I have to explain the solution. Because if you don't understand the problem correctly, you'll never be able to understand the solution. And this is what happens in life. Most people, most startups in India, the problem that they are trying to solve, they actually don't know what the problem is. I have written a solution and they keep on building the solution and then they realize that the solution is not correct because they really don't understand the problem in depth. All right. So I have some very specific thing. This is why I give you the time I give you in class. My job is I am comfortable with discussing two questions less. Okay, that's all right. But what I want is if I'm covering some topic that should not be covered again by anyone. Okay, I mean you should be crystal clear in those things. I can leave 5% of the syllabus and I can still get the first rank in GATE. Okay. But whatever 95% things I've done, I am so crystal clear in those that even if any question from GATE, past year or how difficult the question is, doesn't matter. I will be able to solve it. Okay. And that is how take my classes. That is how I prepared for GATE. I think I left four subjects in while I was preparing. I think only prepared 7 subjects. Yeah. So always make sure that whatever concept you're learning, understand the question carefully, understand the solution carefully. Okay. So Kshitij, I can't really help you with the GATE calculator. So if it takes time, I don't really remember how the calculator worked in my time. I gave in 2014, so I don't really remember. But I think they will have some efficient calculator only. They don't want to waste students' time. Okay. So how tough is interview? Interviews are really tough. Okay. ISC interviews because they have lot of things to cover. And the good thing about those interviews are they'll stick to the basics and they'll build from the basic and they'll confuse you only. Later on, after 10 minutes of discussion, you'll realize that maybe you are wrong. That is why I tell you, be confident in what you know and be confident in what you don't know. Those also. So I was asked something like, are you comfortable with calculus? I said yes, because I was teaching calculus that time. I just previous year, I was teaching calculus to 11th and 12th class. In fact, for JE as well. So I said I was comfortable. Then they kept asking me, okay? So I kept answering, and there was no confusion because I knew that this is the answer. That is it. No if, no but in this. So in interviews, they really check your confidence, how confident you are in some answer. And they ask me some things about algorithms as well. All right. So the topics which I prepared, I was really comfortable with them. I was confident. That is why they cannot confuse me with anything they ask. Okay. I'll always have a counter question, counter answer to it. All right. And they like to do that a lot. Yeah, Abhishek, I told you I prepared in 3 months. Realistically, everything is possible, but you have to plan very carefully. So my plan is always take up some subject, prepare it to the fullest. Okay. Let's take an example of cricket. Okay. Let's say Virat Kohli is practicing cover drive. Okay. One simple shot. So what he'll do is he'll practice 1000 balls. He'll try to hit all of them through cover drive. So once he practice one stroke or one kind of shot, then he'll move to maybe a pull shot. Then he'll keep, take 1000 balls and then practice a pull shot, and then he'll really be comfortable with pull shot, and then he'll move to the second thing. This is how you attack the topics. One topic, revise and revise and revise, solve problems, mock test, everything, become the expert in that so that you can teach me that topic. You should be comfortable that much so that if I tell you to teach me that topic, you should be able to do it in one go. All right, without looking at the notes, without looking at the questions, anything. Then move to the next topic. All right. So I'll try to put some light towards the end on this thing. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Nabanko. Yeah. Try to get the best. Everyone, try to do the best you can. Yeah, Nikhil, I'll put this point 1 minute. Rahul, so this happens a lot because see, in ISC, it is not actually the professors. What I felt was in ISC, it was the environment which created a lot of impact on me. Okay. Personally, it created so much impact that I was like, why am I sleeping? I should be studying or I should be working because everyone is working 24/7. 24/7, 365. Nobody over there will have. So I used to like a lot celebrating Diwali and all, right? Burning crackers, something like this. I used to do a lot when I was in hometown. But ISC made so huge impact on me that I don't enjoy any festival right now. I just think they are a waste of time. Not, I'm not, don't think of me in some wrong sense. Okay. I'm not against any religion or something, but I'm just thinking that I can do something more productive in that time. That's what my thinking is now after ISC. Because all you see over there is people working and working and working, trying to solve the biggest problems which are unsolved, trying to think how can I do better, or how can I improve this solution. So it creates a lot of impact on you, and this is why I'll always say that try to settle for a very good college. If you want your mindset to change, now try to settle for a very good college. I after this I have a class at 7 p.m. till 10:15 or 10:30, something like that. So you do these things as a challenge. So how much can you push yourself? You learn these things in ISC. How much can you push? So I would like to push. I would like to study for 5 hours together. I would like to study for 7 hours together because nobody can do it. Yeah. So these colleges will create a very big impact in your thought process, uh, on your bank balance, on everything, on the way of life, and you will make your life tough. Okay, and you will become a tough guy later on, and you will become a tough person later on once you come out of these colleges. You'll not like an easy life, of course. Okay, because 2 years you have been taught that you have to work harder to improve and to become the best. All right. Yeah, Nikhil, I'll come to this point. Okay. MTech in ISC. We need to give. No, Kshitij, so there are some departments which are known as interdisciplinary department. So for those departments, doesn't matter what your rank is, you have to go to the written and interview process. Okay. But of course, let's say for computer science, there's something known as computer science and automation department. So in that, there are some seats which you can get admission directly on gate rank. But those gate ranks are maybe top 60 gate ranks in computer science. Only then you can get direct admission. And there are some seats which you can get only through written and interview. So there are two kinds of admissions, and this is true for all the top IITs and IISc, not just for my college. Yeah. So later on also you can get, but right now just focus on getting the best rank in GATE. Okay. So one of our IGC students, Manoj, right? He got ranked all India rank 4 in aerospace. So he got direct admission in aerospace. And by the way, he was a chemical engineer. Okay, and he wrote aerospace exam, and I taught him engineering maths. Yeah, so he got into ISC. Now he is in aerospace department doing uh, masters of science. I mean MTech by course. Okay. All right. So last thing I want to discuss is this point. Uh, all subjects. Okay. So right now I will advise everyone not to leave anything. Okay. But my strategy, I'll share with you my strategy. Okay. Now you have to generalize it for yourself, or you have to tweak this strategy for yourself. So when I gave my gate, I started my preparation. I joined the institute around September. Okay. I took my first class in September, imagine. Okay. I had not studied anything till that by that time. And I really started taking gate seriously in maybe November end, or you can say December. Okay. So I had what? I had 3 months, December, January, and February. I gave my gate exam on 2nd March 2014. Okay. So I had almost 3 months to prepare by then. One thing I was very sure, if I was sitting in some class and I was preparing, then my full concentration was on the teacher. Okay, whatever the faculty is teaching, I would grab everything, I would understand everything properly. If the faculty used to give me some time to solve the problem, I would take the problem, I would take that time to really try to solve the problem. Sometimes I was successful, sometimes I was not. Okay. But all the time, till the faculty does not discuss the solution, I would try to get the answer of the problem. Okay, doesn't matter how hard the problem is. I never thought if whether a problem is hard or not. The time is given, I try it. Doesn't matter if the problem is hard or not. Okay. I used to take my classes very seriously. So there were one or two faculties I really enjoyed. So I always used to take their sessions. Okay. And I always enjoyed their sessions. And basically, once I completed their subject, there was no need for me to revise the notes also. I remembered everything. One thing I followed every day was from the start of the classes. Whatever happened in that class, same day I used to come at home and revise that thing, whatever happened. If I'm not solving the questions, that's all right, but same day I will revise. Doesn't matter what time the class ends. Because that time revision will take only 45 minutes. For a 3 hour, 4 hour class, revision just takes 45 minutes because it is just fresh in your head. So I want to, permanently remember that. So revision. Okay. So what I'll do is, if I'm in the second class of that faculty, now after that class is completed, I will revise the first and the second class both. Okay. Now if I'm at the third class, after the class is completed, then I'll revise first, second, and third, all three classes. So eventually it took me very less time for the revision. I knew every question which was there in my notes, and I knew every strategy, every technique. I knew all the methods which are solved, which can be used to solve a single problem. Okay. So my preparation strategy was this. And then in December mostly, I really started preparing, solving assignments, previous year test papers, giving mock test and all, everything. Okay. So I took up subject by subject. So let's say I'm taking algorithms. So I'll take up algorithms, I'll study it properly, I'll revise the notes, I'll solve questions. So I'll do a 4 hour, 5 hour sitting. Just take 15-20 minute break in between, but I'll continuously sit for 5 hours, 6 hours. Okay. Then complete the topic, and now I'm done. So what I'll do is now after 10 days, I'll take up algorithm again, revise it, solve problems, solve previous year gate problems, give mock test, done. Then again after 20 more days, I'll take up algorithm. So that is what I did with 7 subjects. So at the end, I was so strong in those subjects that I was like, you give me any question, I'll be able to solve. Okay. And one more thing I told computer science students also. So whenever you see a gate question, okay. So can you tell me, everyone, can you tell me how many decisions you have to make when you see a gate questions? What all decisions you have to make over there? Anyone has any idea? This is thinking on very micro level, but yeah, it is important. You'll not even think at that level, but I do think at this level. So I'll tell you. See, there are two decisions that you have to make. First is whether you have to solve that question or not. Okay? No, whether you have to solve that or not. Second is how to solve it. Okay? So if some question came of now, most of the people, why they are not able to crack gate is because they take too much time deciding, taking the decision for the first question whether to solve this problem or not. The reason is your mostly 2 mark questions, they have negative marking. So if you're not confident in some subject, you'll keep thinking back and forward, whether should I solve it or whether should I not solve it, whether should I solve it or not. So you are almost spending 1 to 1.5 minutes in that decision only. You're not ending, you're not actually trying to solve the problem. You're just trying to decide whether to solve it or not. And that is where major of your time will be spent. For me, the thing was algorithm question, I will solve it. That's it. Nothing else. So my first decision was, as soon as I see something algorithm, I'll do it. That's it. So the first decision took just 3-4 seconds. Now I'll spend all the 3.5 minutes to try and find the solution of it, not to decide whether I can solve it or not. I will solve it. I will mark the answer. Doesn't matter if it is wrong. I will solve it. It is algorithm. Algorithm is a subject which I am expert at. I think I'm expert at. So I should solve it. Okay. So this also helps you a lot when you decide now, okay, this topic is very comfortable to me. Let's say you are very comfortable in engineering maths. So you will say these 13 marks, I'll get all the 13 marks. Doesn't matter how hard the question is. Is this point also clear to everyone? This is an important one, really. People don't think at this level, but yeah, it is very true. Because again, you are always scared about the negative marking. Well, if you are expert at something, doesn't matter. See, if some player has to hit a six, he has to take some risk, right? But he will always take some risk when the ball is in his comfortable area. Okay, the areas that he is comfortable playing shots, if the ball is in his comfortable area, only there he'll take the risk. Of course, calculated risk. You'll not take a risk on some subject you don't know. Okay, that is just very, I mean, that is silly, right? You know, okay, this engineering maths, you're very good at it and you know everything about it. Let's say differential equation question comes, you're very good at it, you know everything about it. So now I'll solve it. That's it. You give time to read the problem and trying to understand the solution rather than thinking whether I should solve or not. Because then you're basically attempting the problem half-heartedly. Half-heartedly problems cannot be solved ever. Okay, you'll not be able to solve the problem ever if you're not giving it your full focus. All right, so I think the session time is also up. So any more thing that you want to ask? Because I really don't want to bring up this topic in classes since we have, a lot of things to cover more. So anything you want to ask before I wind up everything? You can ask on audio also if you want. All right. So this was good. I hope everyone, enjoyed it. And of course, I've recorded the session, so you may refer uh, to this session later also, right? So if you feel demotivated and all, so you can always ping me for that. Okay. So I'll keep your hopes high whenever you're preparing. But just make sure this demotivation should not happen because I've given you enough reasons to, prepare for GATE. All right. Okay, guys. So I'll disconnect now. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope this was fruitful for everyone.